So I built 7 income streams in 9 months. I'd be lying to you if I say it wasn't hard or painful. And while building multiple income streams in a short span of time sounds great, but it came with a price of multiple burnouts and a few trips to the doctors. Thankfully, I'm okay. But if you're crazy enough to embark on this journey of creating multiple income streams so that you are in control of your destiny, then this video will hopefully help you avoid some of the burnouts and also the potential health scares down the track. So in this video, I'm gonna share the percentage breakdown of my total income and the learnings along the way so that you can learn from my mistakes. The first income stream that make up the bulk of my total income is my full-time job. I'm currently working in one of Australia's fastest growing healthcare startups, and it's one of those opportunities where I get a chance to learn from some of the smartest people tackling a really difficult healthcare challenge, and I actually re-enter into the startup world during the pandemic. It was just one of those things that was hard to say no to. Personally speaking, I think that full-time job is still by far one of the best ways to hone your hard skills, technical skills if you will, and be mentored by someone who's much better at your craft. Not to mention, be pushed to solve tougher and tougher challenge over time. Because at the end of the day, how much you get paid for a full-time job is really a reflection of the problems that you can solve for a business. Now, because my skill set started from the digital marketing world, as I got better at my craft, I found the opportunity to help out other businesses with their SEO strategy, Facebook ads, and Google ads. And that part, the consulting part of my income stream, make up approximately 30% of my total income. And it's really interesting that there's still a lot of businesses who are quite new to the digital world. So working with them, I found myself having to explain things very simply so that they can understand it, and also push them to think very differently in terms of how you should approach the digital world. It was really interesting that it made me better at my day job, because as you get more senior in your day job, you find yourself doing less of the work, but more on the mentoring, building the system, and making sure that your team performs at a level that will help the company achieve its mission over time. There's actually a bonus tip on building these two streams. More on that in just a second. Every couple of years, I like to reinvent myself with a new skill set, preferably something that the world is moving towards. In doing so, I'll become more employable, and it's a cherry on top if I could generate additional income out of that new skill set. And that new skill set turned out to be making YouTube video. YouTube ad revenue currently makes up approximately 13% of my total income stream. And this was definitely one of the hardest things I've ever done. It's hard not because it's complex, it's hard because it requires this mental fortitude to pour your heart and soul into a video like this and put it out to the world to judge. But if you can just get over the fear of creating something and sharing with the world what you know, it tends to reward you in ways you never quite expect, which leads me to my next income stream, and that's affiliate revenue. That part currently makes up approximately 12% of my income stream. But the one thing I want to highlight here is that it was never quite my intention to make money out of YouTube. I just wanted to reinvent myself, share what I've learned around personal finance, especially my startup experience, with the world. And it just so happened that I created something you like, and that gave me the opportunity to build that additional income stream. Now, those 4 income streams make up the bulk of my total income. But this journey of curiosity and deepening my skills led me to other things like creating my own website or creating a Patreon so that I can create more videos for my supporters. And those two things combined make up approximately 1.5% of my total income. And the last income stream, which is relatively small, are the dividend income generated from my portfolio. And that make up approximately 1% of my total income. So that's a percentage breakdown of my total income. And it came with a lot of very painful mistakes. And a lot of it, I do believe, is easily avoidable. After spending a bit of time reflecting on my journey so far, I have summarized my learnings into 5 points. And I think that these things, if you do decide to go on the journey, will help you substantially. You want to do things one thing at a time. Don't try to build multiple streams at once. Do them one at a time and focus on doing a great job. If you try to do too many things at once, you end up doing none of it well. And if you don't do anything well, that income stream is going to disappear very quickly. So what I've learned is to focus on doing one thing at a time, build a system around it so that you get your time back and reinvest that time building an additional stream or making your current stream even stronger. And a bonus tip here, if you can create an income stream that can help other income streams get better over time, like for example, building this YouTube channel has been one of the most eye-opening experience for me personally. And by doing this, it actually helps me get better at my day job. And by getting better at my day job, I'll become more valuable to other businesses and my current employer, which means better day job income and potentially better client income in the future. That's a system of systems, which could be a huge accelerant to both your career and also your income potential. Actually leads to my second learning, and that's creating a system. As you build your income stream one at a time, you will find that there are things you do repetitively, which more often than not can be automated or systemized to a point so that you can save a crap ton of time. For example, if you know that you need to create reports at the end of every month for your clients, then it's very likely that you can find a way to automate that report or systemize that report. Invoice templates, reusable components. I even have like 5 to 10 facial expressions for my YouTube thumbnails, just so that I can save myself the time and so that I can reinvest that time elsewhere. This is one thing I had to learn the hard way, and I burnt out more times than I could count. I was doing the same thing over and over again, and I didn't take the time to create a system for those repetitive tasks. That's why it's also really important to do one thing at a time so that you can see the repetitive task that you're doing so that you can build a system around it, get your time back, and reinvest that time doing other things. The third learning is pick something you are interested in. Building multiple income streams is an absolute grind, especially in the beginning where you just don't see any progress. By picking something you're at least interested in, you're staying in the game. And when you stay in the game, you get the necessary reps in order to be successful. When I first started my YouTube channel, there were many content creators who were creating personal finance content for Aussies. But over time, you could tell that maybe they weren't really interested in creating videos or the topic itself because they slowly just dropped off. And now there are only a handful of creators left. So if you're gonna take the hard path of building multiple income streams, then at least pick something you're interested in so that you can stay in the game. The fourth learning, again, something I had to learn the hard way, is that you do need to schedule in time for recovery. In order to grind through all of the necessary reps in order to be successful, you need to rest. That resting period is the key to recover both mentally and physically so that you can go at it again. It's really easy to get caught up in the grind and the hustle culture, and you feel like you don't have time for anything. The reality is that you always have the time, and the improvement in your craft happens during recovery. You just have to consciously prioritize it. And while you're at it, take a look at how you're spending your time. Are you really being busy, or are you really being impactful? Which leads me to my fifth learning, and that's being busy is very different to being impactful. There is a big difference between doing work that will help you make progress towards your goals versus something that does not. A good example, and I'm still guilty of this from time to time, is replying to someone's emails or Slack messages immediately. While that will make you feel productive, but we have to be honest, does it actually help you make progress towards your goals? In certain aspects, maybe it does, but majority of the time, it probably doesn't. So it's really worthwhile to keep tabs on how you're allocating your time and whether you're over allocating to tasks that keep you busy. Me, you, whoever that you admire, all have the same time. It's how you use that time that changes the outcome. While building 7 income streams in 9 months sounds really good, the reality is that it took me a while to sharpen my hard skills, my technical skills if you will, to be good enough to have the opportunity to help other businesses out, which eventually led me to YouTube and other sources of income. The most important thing is to focus on one thing at a time. Build a system to get your time back so that you can reinvest that time to be even more impactful with your current stream of income or a new stream of income. The truth is, the journey is really hard and it takes time. The question I always ask myself is, was it worth it? And for me personally, absolutely. I would not want it any other way. Now, if you're interested in how to invest that extra income, check out this video right here. Until your next video, my name is David Kwan, and Auto will always do the honors.